Welcome to Nostalgic Necro, and today in the arena we are playing mono black skeletons, an off-meta deck that got Saint Mortis all the way to Mythic. Very impressive. They've got a 57% win rate with this deck based on 185 games, and I really respect and appreciate these players that are able to take these weird off-meta decks and just sort of do their own brew and figure out a way to get it all the way to Mythic. I really love showcasing these kinds of decks. And with this deck, it's very interesting because before doing the video, I played in unranked about 20 games, and the first like 10 games, I just lost every single game one after the other. And at some point I said to myself, okay, this deck just sucks. I cannot do a video on this. I'm just gonna lose every game. And I almost gave up, and then slowly I started actually figuring out like weird little tricks and tips and lines in this deck that actually make it surprisingly competitive. And once I started sort of getting into the zone with the deck, it actually is pretty good and you can win games with it. So let me tell you what I learned. The big thing with this deck is that you gotta sacrifice your fodder. And your fodder is the Bloodghast, which is a creature that comes back from the graveyard when you play a land, so it can come back easily. The Forsaken Miner can also come back when you commit a crime, and then to some extent the skeleton that you get from the case is also fodder because you can sack it. It doesn't come back, but you get to solve the case. So you're more than happy to sack that stuff because it does come back later in the game. So don't be precious about that. Let those things die and make sure that your other stuff lives, okay? And the reason, so basically then we have a whole bunch of things that give us value when we kill our stuff. For example, Corrupted Conviction to draw cards. Desperate Measure is also another way to draw cards, and you can also kill an opponent's creature if it's only got 1 toughness. And the very important card in this deck is Hylderblade, because if a non-land permanent left the battlefield, then you can attach it to one of your creatures, giving it +3/+1. And basically, this happens if you kill one of your things or if you kill one of your opponent's things. So for example, if you Tragic Trajectory their creature, you can attach it at the end of turn for free without paying the equip cost. So that's very important. Intimidation Tactics is a way to probably deal with artifacts. I assume that's why it's in the deck, but also it commits a crime, so very good with the Forsaken Miner. And then what you have in the deck also is this Vampire Gourmand, which I've never seen before, but interesting card. Essentially, whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. So again, more than happy to sacrifice the Bloodghast or the Forsaken Miner. And then if you do, this creature can't be blocked, and also you draw a card. So very cool there. And Sunset Saboteur, I don't think this card is here for a specific reason other than the fact that it's just a very pesky card for players to deal with because it's got the ward and it does deal a lot of damage in the early game. Then you have Strategic Betrayal and Feed the Swarms as one-ofs. And I think the reason these are one-offs, they are there in a pinch. And the key thing is you can get them back with the case of the, or you can find them, you can tutor them with the case of the stashed skeleton. So that's, I think, why they're there as a one-off. If you draw them, great, but let's say you're in a game and you need to exile the graveyard or you need to kill an enchantment, you just kill your suspected skeleton, find the piece that you need, and hopefully do the thing. And then, of course, the very powerful card in this deck is the Corpses of the Lost, a real engine for anything that's doing skeletons. Allows your Forsaken Miner also to come back with haste, and you can keep returning it to your hand whenever you descend. And with this deck, it's pretty easy to descend because you're constantly sacking your stuff. And then Archenemy's Charm, very flexible card. I think it's mainly here as exile removal, which means you also commit a crime, and then you can also return creatures from the graveyard or put counters on it if you want. So that's kind of a very good card here to do a whole bunch of things, but I think mainly it's to commit a crime and deal with planeswalkers. And then a very interesting addition in the deck is the addition of Deadly Cover-Up and the Scavenger Regent. You don't usually see sweepers in an aggro deck, but in this deck it actually makes sense because let's say you sweep the board with Deadly Cover-Up or the -X ability of the Regent. Your opponent is out of gas, but you are not, because hopefully you kill stuff like your Forsaken Miner and the Bloodghast, and then next when you commit a crime, something like with the Archenemy's Charm or something like that, and you get back all your stuff, but your opponent's out of gas. So that is why those are there, and they're very, very cool. I think it's a really nice idea to sort of sweep the board, but maintain your ability to keep applying pressure on your opponent with these cards. And then, we also have 23 lands, which I think is more than sufficient for a sort of aggro deck like this. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. And as always, I may be the Nostalgic Necro, but I'm putting my nostalgia aside because I want to find out how cool this deck is that Saint Mortis navigated all the way to Mythic. We're going to find out in the arena today. Okay, I've been playing around with this deck in unranked, and initially I was getting absolutely hammered. I think I figured out a couple of the lines though. We'll see how it now does in ranked. I have no idea. Opponent goes first. So what I figured out is that you gotta sack your stuff. Like, I was too worried about losing my stuff. And the whole point is to sack it. So for example, you want to sack your Bloodghast to the Vampire Gourmand, so that you can then get the Hyperblade on. You know what I mean? That's kind of the... Ooh, okay, that's not good. As I'm talking here, we're probably getting hammered unless we can find some instant speed removal. Just go for this. Opponent doesn't hit land. Wow. So what do we do here? Do we just go for max damage? Yeah, I think we have to. We gotta beat them quick. Tithing Blade, Hyperblade, not Tithing Blade. I mean, we're very lucky opponent missed a land drop there. They seem to have some interaction though. See what they go after. Probably the token, right? They better try winning Velgavoth. And that's the whole thing. Because a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, we now have a 5-2. That's pretty cool. Another Bloodghast. I mean, we could try find removal with this thing, but I think we're just going for max damage here. Next turn, if we draw land, we can get the Bloodghast and the corpses. We have 9 damage on board. Can they Kona this turn? They have nowhere to tap Kona, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Oh, they've got nowhere to tap Kona. Oof, okay. Pretty happy about that. That's a good start, right? Okay, opponent scoops there. Okay, they got mana screwed, so let's not get our hopes too high. But yeah, kind of a good start there. And you saw the main point of the deck. They killed our thing, and then our creature got bigger because of the Tithing Blade. I think that's kind of how this deck is supposed to work. Okay, it was nice to start with a win there, but opponent got mana screwed. So let's not get our expectations too high here. We go first. You keep this hand. It's got no creatures. Got the corpses. I guess we keep it, hope that it's a creature deck. Otherwise, if it's control, we're just dead, right? Just gotta hope that it's not blue. Show me red, show me green, show me something that all this stuff is useful for. It's blue. Okay, wonderful. Maybe it's Dimir though? Don't think we can ram our Corpses of the Lost into a counterspell here. I think we have to test the counterspell. I guess... shoot the Sheriff. Okay, that's good that it's solved. I was thinking maybe I should have gone for the Corpses there because they don't really play 2 mana counters, do they? Well, we're going to find out now because I'm going for this play now. They have the counter. Damn. I really wanted my... I really needed that to resolve. We will go for it again here. I don't think we can afford to mess around. We have to go for corpses, right? Is there anything else that's better? Okay, let's just think here. They have this. Counter target spell unless an opponent plays 2. I think we'll go for corpses, but maybe try play it next turn. I don't know, maybe that's a mistake, because now they get to dig. Yeah, okay. That was probably a mistake, but... I was a bit nervous to run out corpses into another counter. Well, maybe this is the only counter they play, but it's unlikely. They probably found the 3 steps ahead now. Opponent stocks up. Okay. That is something. Opponent has a stacked hand here. Pretty much our entire hand here is kind of useless against them, which is really sad. Really needed this to be an aggro matchup. Okay, opponent gets to create a lander token. We get in for 3 here, but I mean, we're an aggro deck and we're like 5 turns in and we haven't even laid a glove on them, so I don't think our situation is good here. They'll probably have plenty of ways to deal with this. Hyperblade. Put it on you. It will die. Tell you what, opponent's down to 3 cards, I mean, not life. They get a land. Let's see what we draw. I mean, it's so sad. All our removal is really useless here. Okay, they get the monument. Saboteur is not the worst card in the world, right? Are we Tithing Blade it now? Sure, let's force them to discard something if they want to kill it. Okay, so we got a 7-2 for what it's worth. One in mills. Be nice if we get one of our Forsaken Miners or something like that into the graveyard here. I'll tell you what, if they don't have an answer for the Saboteur, which is unlikely, but if they don't, okay, they do. We do have the Archenemy's Charm. We can get stuff back. Let's see what they take out. I wonder if they'll go for corpses. That would be good. That would be real good. They went for the Saboteur. Good play by them. I mean, they don't know that we run this card, but that kind of ruined our chance of winning this game. Okay, well, we need a creature now. Urgently. If we don't draw a creature, I don't see how we win. We do get a creature. No! Ugh. Thankfully, there's another phase there. Oh, don't tell me opponent's got a counter. Oh, they only have 2 blue. Okay. I wish this could exile our own graveyard. That would be really good for us, because then we could stop this Riverside Monument from milling our entire library very soon. Oof, okay, that's good. Man, if only there was a way for us to put a non-land permanent. So let me just think. I'm still learning this deck. A non-land permanent must leave the battlefield. Do we play this out now? If we don't, we can sort of maybe surprise them. I just feel like if I play this out, they know we're presenting lethal. So maybe if we don't play it out, they won't do something that they could otherwise do. I think we're just going for it. They're 3 steps ahead. They copy the monument, they draw. They get to do all the good things. See if we can swing in here if they found the removal. They didn't find it. Do we just play this? And we might as well, right? Take back the corpses now. So we are presenting lethal somehow. As long as they didn't find the... What's the card called? The one that destroys all my creatures and mills? That would be pretty much the disaster. Yeah, I'd love to see Forsaken Miners coming into my graveyard. That's not happening currently. Still no Forsaken Miner. We pick this up. Okay, do they have the sweeper? They probably have the sweeper, right? They dug for it with the 3 steps ahead. I feel like if they had it, they would have played it by now. Can they just kill us with the... Hold on. Do we have creatures in the graveyard? Because then we can actually reduce the amount that they mill us for. We don't have any creatures though. So that mills us. And what does this one do? It mills us for... Yeah, we're just dead, right? 17, 26. Oof, that was actually pretty close. I'll tell you what, it's pretty close. One turn away there. Okay, they got the counter as well. Well, okay, that game was actually way closer than I thought it would be at some point, but they did manage to sort of produce 2 of these monuments and just beat us with that. Okay, disappointing to lose there, but we really kept a bad hand for control. Obviously, there's no way you can know that, but our hand was all just removal, so maybe that's a good sign that this deck is pretty good actually, and we just didn't draw a good hand there. Okay, Corpses of the Lost. Can that do good things? Authority of Consoles is going to make our life a little bit difficult. Is this artifacts? Might be. It is artifacts. That is tough. So I'm going to play as if they don't have Star Cage, because I think if you try to play around Star Cage, you're just going to lose, right? So we're just going to go full swing here and just hope that it's enough to get us by. If they have Star Cage here, we probably just lose. They don't have the Star Cage, but now they can find it. So do we play this out? I mean, it means we deal them 8 damage. We could Corrupted Conviction and then get it back. I think we still play out the corpses, right? Maximize the damage. And then we Corrupted Conviction the miner. Do we take both? I don't think we need both, right? Just take one. And now they can sack bricks to get the Star Cage. That's probably the moment we lose the game, right? Man, this Repurposing Bay just sometimes feel like such an unfair card. They can get as many Star Cages as they want, basically. Oh, they don't even go for that? Interesting. Pretty risky play, I would say, because they might not hit the Star Cage. They didn't hit it. Very interesting decision by the opponent there. Why would they not just get the Star Cage and wipe out our board? Archenemy's Charm. Pretty sad here. Oof. What do we do? But nothing else to do with this mana, so I guess we just get this down. Okay, well, we are presenting lethal here, but my inclination is that the opponent will repurpose Invade, get Star Cage, and we just lost the game. Interesting, they don't go for that. Why don't they go for that? Why did they must have it in hand, right? It must be coming down now. There's no way they wouldn't get it. Okay, they had it in hand the whole time, that's why. I was thinking, like, what are they? Is this player nuts? Because we could have actually just killed their stuff. So we could deadly cover up and try to somehow get back into the game, but it's not going to happen. They got 2 simulacrums, they can find as many Star Cages as they want, we're just dead. Okay, so after a promising start, it is not looking very good. And I swear, can the matchmaker maybe not put me up against all the meta decks? Because I'm playing some pretty janky things here. It would be really nice if the matchmaker was kind to me and kind of paired me up against someone else who's doing something a little bit janky. Although I guess then if I lost, I wouldn't really have a good reason to complain. So, actually no. Let's keep playing the meta decks, then I can blame that for my poor performance. Opponent goes first, we're waiting. Opponent surveils. What are you up to, opponents? On the play, this is a pretty good hand, I think. Okay, start with Miner here. I guess we will play the case, because if they have the Star Cage, at least we get the case value. That would be nice. Opponent stocks up. They don't have Star Cage, or at least they've decided not to play it yet. So it's Control. Tough matchup for sure. We can get the Tithing Blade down. Do we just Tragic Trajectory? I'm trying to learn the lines of this deck. We could Tragic Trajectory our own Miner, because we can get it back later, and then we can Hyperblade at the end of our turn. Let's try that. I mean, I'm trying to learn how this deck works. Like I said, someone knows how to operate it well, clearly. So, do this. Kill our own Miner. It goes into the bin, but it will come back at some point, hopefully. Another land is not bad. Let's see if opponent lets us kill, hit them, not kill them. We do anything here. Opponent has to deal with this threat, so maybe we just leave it out there. Opponent draws 2 cards and discards a card. So they'll have the sweeper here, we know that. Okay. Beza. Beza lets them draw. We can Strategic Betrayal here. Kill Beza. Get this back. Attack. I think we have to hold on to this Saboteur, right? Okay, do we want to switch this to the Miner? Does it make any difference? I don't think it makes any difference, right? So we could play the Saboteur, but they've got to have a sweep. I mean, they've got 7 cards in hand. Come on. They have Judgment. Okay, there's the sweeper. Opponent plays a tapped land. Okay, Corpses of the Lost is very good. We definitely do this. And now, if we sack this... Oh, it's not... Oh, man, it's not solved yet. We could play Saboteur, present lethal, but I think they're going to have another... They're going to have another sweeper, right? We've got the Forsaken Miner play. Another Baser. So, I think we do this, try to kill Baser and get the Miner back from the graveyard. If opponents got the counter, they look like they do. They do have the counter. Hate to get this back, and we swing all in. I don't think we mess around here. Okay, Tithing Blade comes on the Miner, presenting lethal next turn. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. Authority of Consoles. Opponent attack, so clearly they're on the mill plan. They have Judgment. They got the Monument. We only have 4 cards in the graveyard. Okay, so let's just think here. They got no cards in hand. Do we just play the Saboteur? Hold on, let me just think here. We do actually have a way of killing Authority in this deck. Hold on. Let me just think. We have the thing that kills this Authority of Consoles. So we can get it first. Oh, and then we can, that's a crime? Oh, that's really good. Okay, wait, that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. Took me a while. I was like, I'm sure I've got a way to deal with this problem, right? Okay, we got this. We got Feed the Swarm. Okay, that kills an enchantment, and we commit a crime. So we get back the Forsaken Miner. Okay, they actually do get the trigger. I forgot about that. Okay, it does come tapped. That's kind of sad. Maybe that wasn't actually the right play. I didn't realize that. Okay, that's good. We put you on you. Do we take back the corpses? We got lots to do next turn. But I think a hasty creature is good. Presents lethal. Oh, come on! That's ridiculous. Okay, well, we do present lethal here. Sorry, we don't present lethal. We can present lethal next turn. Can we... Is there any way we can commit a crime? Can we commit a crime? There's no way we can commit a crime. Commit a crime, commit a crime, commit a crime. How do I commit a crime? And I don't have 4 mana to put the blade on. Go for another Hyperblade here. I have to hope that opponent doesn't top deck something insane. Okay, I'm just going to play the Saboteur. That way, you know, they could draw a sweep and then we're just sad. But if they just draw single targeted removal, we can win. Don't tell me. I mean, you drew the sweeper last turn, my friend. You can't draw it again. It's ridiculous. Ah, I just have this bad feeling. Okay. Hylderblade on you. There's no way you can deal with both of them, right? Got one card. There's no one card that deals with two creatures, one of them having a ward. Maybe they got a way to gain life somehow? I really feel like I deserve one win with this deck. Come on! Okay. What else you got, opponent? Okay, we get the win. Oof, I was wondering if I would ever get a win in ranked. I mean, I know the first game was a win, but opponent was mana screwed. This was a win through, I feel like, decent gameplay, you know? So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, well, St. Mortis got to Mythic with this deck. Why can't we? We can do it, right? Not if opponent goes first, though. There's always a bad sign. Never played this Bloodghast before, by the way. It's a pretty cool card. That's kind of grown on me. The fact that you can just bring it back by playing a land is pretty nice. Let's go for the Bloodghast here, I suppose. Opponent can counter it. We can get it back if they play a land, as long as they don't have an exile. We could have also played double Hyperblade. Don't really have any way of sacking our stuff right now. So, see, this is fantastic, right? Opponent shoots a sheriff, but next time we just get it back. So, get it back. Play this. I don't want to play this corpses into a counter. I don't counters it? Interesting. Go for another one, or we get down this vampire. Let's get down this vampire. Applying a lot of pressure on the opponent here. Dimir doesn't have a 4-mana sweeper. Don't think we play this into the counter, right? But too problematic. And shoots the sheriff. Okay, we play you. Do we play Corpses of the Lost? I don't think so. Put this on... Does it matter which one we put it on? Put it on you because this is more damage. You can get down the corpses next turn. Actually, wait, that doesn't make sense. I should have put it maybe on the Bloodghast. Still don't think we play corpses here. I think we try to... I mean, they must have removal here or sweeper, right? They have to deal with this situation. Okay, so that was a misplay, right? I should have not played the swamp. Should have not played the swamp out before attacking, because had they killed the Bloodghast, I could have gotten it back for free. Okay, they've got this reef. Okay. You... Next time we can put the Tithing Blade on this thing. Man, if we can just commit a crime, we can overwhelm them next turn. Very, very close matchup. Can they just beat us this turn though? Do they have the Monument? No, even if they had it, they don't have enough lands. Oh, opponent scoops! I was like, what does this card do? Hold on, I've never seen this card. What does it do? Why is it blurred? That's a weird bug. Okay, I need to read what this card does later. Okay, it was nice to get another win against Control. Maybe we have a pretty favorable matchup there because against Dimir, they don't have too much exile-y things, so maybe that's a good thing. We just sort of have to race them to the mill. This is a pretty good hand, as all things considered. We also have some removal. I mean, like a sweeper, right? Now the problem is, they played the Floodpits Drown on turn 2. Okay, they play the Bat. The Bat can take the Scavenger Regent, which is kind of bad. We could actually have swept up the whole board next turn had we had the Scavenger Regent, so that kind of sucks. We will apply a lot of pressure with these Corpses of the Lost though. And gets in for the attack, no fear. We'll decline this. I don't think we want to lose our 3-2. I think our current strategy is to just go for max damage. Now let's see if Kaito comes down. Probably does. If Kaito comes down, that we can actually kill it. Archenemy's Charm. Let's attack first. I don't think that... They got some plan here, right? Like the Floodpits Drowner? Pretty sure it's Floodpits Drowner. It's a long goodbye. Back the Scavenger Regent. Not too worried about losing that. I think honestly I would prefer to... I would have been more sad if I lost my 3-2 skeleton. And this card is pretty cool, but it's not exactly the nuts, right? Okay, let's try bait them into the counter here and try get down the other corpses. Opponent allows us to play it. Interesting. I think they would have countered that if they had the counter. Let's see if I'm wrong, but I think if they had the counter, they would have countered that. There's no way they can just take that much pressure. Yeah, they would have countered it. I was like, if they didn't counter that, they must have something else. Okay, they prevent the effect with the Tidebinder. Pretty sad. We are going to attack all in though. Does it matter? It's 4 damage, right? Okay. Ah, opponent scoops! Oof, okay. Telling you, man, this deck, there's something to it. I mean, you don't just get to Mythic with a deck for nothing, right? There must be something to it if you're ranking up with it. Alright, we're on a roll here, baby. Let's go. And what are we? I think 4-2? Something like that? That's pretty good, right? Opponent goes first, though. That reduces our chances of winning. I think it's a good hand though. We don't mull a hand like this. It's a good hand. Obviously on the play it would be much better, and we wish we had a 1-drop, but we do not. Opponent bats up here. Wonder what they'll take. The Charm probably? Maybe the Sunset Saboteur? Generally you have to take removal when your opponent only has 1 removal. Oh, we find another one. That's pretty good. So I think we play the Saboteur. This is something I actually learned from Mythic Mike. He said that you should play this out early because it's the most damage over time. It makes a lot of sense. In an aggro deck, it's also got Menace, you know. You think the opponent is playing counters here? What are they up to? He's playing bats? Like, oh, it's Dimir. It's just Dimir, right? I think we'll hold this charm. I want them to tap out and try get my other charm back. Opponent's not interested in tapping out. Damn. Well, we are giving him a lot of life. Still think they're going to tap out at the end of their turn at some point here, right? Surely they're going to go for the Enduring Innocence here? Yeah, okay. Oof. Okay, well, we exile this and try to get back the other one. I mean, I know it sucks that they draw cards, but I don't think we can let them have a lifelinker there. I mean, that lifelinker was just getting way too big for us to actually do anything about. I believe the counter that they play is Phantom Interference, so maybe we... Oh boy. You know, putting 1/1 counters on this guy is not the worst thing in the world. Does hit them hard. Obviously, it transforms into a lifelinker. What do we do here? Do we just not attack? Is that the plan? I think we have to attack. Put it on Cecil. Try to kill Cecil later with this charm. Everyone seems to have had enough of this Sunset Saboteur. They're eyeing it like they want to take it out. Okay. Hey, you. Try to block the Cecil, I think. That bits Drowner. I don't like our chances here. They tap that. That's bad. Now they can get in for a lot here. Kind of reload their whole hand. I wonder if I could have played this game differently. Maybe I should have been braver to try and kill the Enduring Curiosity.
This is where things just in time to save the day.
Down to 3. Cecil will deal them also a lot, but it will untap. Can we deal them 8 damage this turn? I think let's... Wait, hold on. Okay, they draw lots of cards. We have to assume they have the counter here. We can hit them for 6. Yeah. Oh, they tap down the minor. That's really bad. Draw 2. We're gonna have to try and kill the Cecil somehow. They counter that. Interesting. Down to 3. You know, we almost got there. Because this is 2. It's 6 damage. Wow, we're too short. It's just that they have this blocker. This is Menace. Nothing has Menace, right? No Menace, no Menace. Man, that's close. That's close. Exile you. If this just wasn't tapped, or if we could... Oof, that is close. Okay, down to 6. Hold on a second. And we can attack you and block the Enduring Curiosity, try to survive one turn. Yeah, why not? Let's try. Why not? We can block the Enduring Curiosity now. Obviously, they probably have removal, but you never know. Okay, they have the Bitter Triumph. Yeah, man, we were very... Just almost had the right amount of damage there to take them out. Yeah, okay, cool. Very humbling to lose in the arena like that. Okay, well, I'm currently 4-3. Let's just do a tiebreaker. Why not? I don't like leaving things on a cliffhanger. Let's get some final clarity. Is this a win rate deck or is it not a win rate deck? We go first. That improves our chances of this being a win rate deck. Let's go for Miner here. Let's see what they are first before we decide to Intimidation Tactics. I like... Oh, okay. I don't know what the hell happened there. Does that count? We'll do one more. We'll do one more. Okay, well, we'll do one more. That doesn't really count. So let's just say we're still in 4-3 range, right? I mean, come on. Opponent just immediately leaves. Okay, cool. Let's have a proper game. We don't want to be scared here of the truth. If the truth is that this deck is not good, then let's rather find out about it, you know? Or maybe the deck is good, but I just don't know how to play it. Well, let's find that out too. Watch the tower. And bins the Soulstone Sanctuary. Fear of missing out. Tell me, have you noticed, like, whenever you play Izzet Vivi, this is always a card they have. It almost feels like the game is somehow biased to give them that card. It's crazy. It's like they never don't have this on turn 2. It's nuts. Okay, well, unfortunately, the Strategic Betrayal is very lonely, but you know what? Okay, so this is a misplay, right? What I could have done is I could have played the Vampire first. Next turn, I could have played the Case and sacked this thing on attacking, and then I could have actually taken out one of their creatures. So you see, that's a clear misplay on my part, not really understanding how this deck works well enough. So that is, you know, you've got to be aware of these kinds of things and not always assume that, you know, if a deck doesn't perform well, that it's the deck itself. It can also just be your own misplays. So yeah, we could have taken out this Vivi, basically. This Vivi could be dead if I had sequenced it correctly. So that's something you got to learn. Rewarding Mako. Well, I tell you what, we do have one of the sweepers. What's it called? Deadly Cover-Up. So, in theory, we could just draw it next turn and sweep the whole board. That'll be pretty cool. Okay, no blocks. We need this thing to kill Vivi. Fear of missing out. Oof. Does opponent hit Delirium too? Oh, and then you know what? If we can actually just survive. Hold on. Can we survive? Once this case, oh, but it's not going to be. Oh man, you see, if I'd sequenced this correctly, we could have found the Deadly Cover-Up using. So right now we could have on this turn found Deadly Cover-Up. That's the difference, and you know those kinds of mistakes cost you. Okay, so it's got to be Vivi. And we take out the other Fear of Missing Out. This thing is too brutal, right? Okay. Yeah, we'll put you here. Case is solved. Can we survive long enough to find the Deadly Cover-Up? I mean, they have Delirium now. But probably not. Yeah, we just did this turn, right? But yeah, I mean, and this is why it's good to test the deck and learn about it more. So we're going to lose this game, clearly, but had I sequenced it differently, I could have actually, I think, swept the board and maybe even won this game. So that's the kind of thing you got to learn from your mistakes in the arena, especially when you're navigating a new deck. And you know, these are like honest mistakes that anyone can make, and it's only by playing it that you learn these decks, and that's why some people are able to get to Mythic with it, because they know all the ins and outs, and some people are not, because they don't really know all those things, and you just learn that, I think, by experience, and by keeping, like, tinkering and trying out new things. Welcome back. I put my nostalgia aside because I wanted to play this deck that St. Mortis brewed that got them all the way to Mythic. What a cool creative off-meta deck. And I really enjoy this deck because I want to learn more about the whole sack and self-sacrifice mechanic. It's a concept that I've struggled with. I've been very open about it. I actually did a video on the Sephiroth sacrifice deck asking you guys for help. And whilst this deck is obviously very different, it is got some of the same sort of interplay there in terms of you want to kill your own stuff. And that's something that my brain just hasn't fully comprehended yet. I'm getting better at it. And I felt like I was really happy that I started initially taking loss after loss after loss with this deck. And the more practice that I got, I did actually start picking up wins. So I think this deck is very important to learn how to navigate well. Like I said, the key thing is with this deck, don't be scared to lose your fodder. The Forsaken Miner, the Bloodghast, and also the case, the skeleton from the case are all there to die. You'll get it back later in the game. Don't worry. Every time you commit a crime, and there's so many ways to commit crimes in this deck, you'll get back your miner. Every time you play a land, you'll get your Bloodghast, and of course you don't get the suspected skeleton back, but it helps you find your utility pieces like the Feed the Swarms, Strategic Betrayal, or even one of your sweepers. Now, I also think you saw in that last game, I made a mistake. This is a very important card, I think, to get down early if you can, because it's sort of like your sack outlet in the same way as that with Sephiroth, you got your Zealot to do your sacking. This is a very important card in this deck because you get it down on turn 2, and then anytime you draw fodder, you can attack, sacrifice it, draw a card and get value, and then, you know, like I said, you can commit crimes and play land to get it back. So I think that's just a mistake that I made. I think you should be prioritizing this if you can, as opposed to, for example, the Bloodghast or something like that on turn 2. And then the other thing is, I think with the Sunset Saboteur, Mythic Mike's suggestion is spot on. Mythic Mike said, get this down on turn 2 because that is the most damage over time, and I think that's a good rule of thumb. But I realized in the gameplay today, there's one exception to that, and that is if your opponent has a life-linking bat. So anything that's got lifelink is going to be a problem for that, because you see, as an aggro deck, we don't mind taking damage so much, but we don't want our opponent to gain life. And if you're putting 1/1 counters on a lifelink, it kind of defeats the purpose. So I think if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have played the Sunset Saboteur because the opponent had a lifelink on board, and especially a flying one that I couldn't block. So that's just something to keep in mind. Good rule of thumb, but every rule of thumb has its own exceptions. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing this deck. I think it can obviously be competitive and rank you up. So if you want to try something new and fresh, and if you're willing to learn a couple of things and learn a couple of lines, you can get better with this deck. I definitely felt my own improvement the more I played and navigated with it. But that'll be the gameplay for today though, and I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, stay tuned and consider subscribing, because there's going to be more Nostalgic Necro coming soon.